Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And somebody's in
We are,
a
we are live.
Hey y'all, how you
Hello.
doing?
Hey, y'all, hey.
Um,
All you
I'm
little
still
piggies in the room.
still clicking buttons. Okay, there we go. How y'all doing out there? It's winter time in a lot of y'all's places, so hopefully you're okay.
We actually kind of warmed up today. If I hadn't been so lazy, I would have taken Lucy out for a walk. But somebody had a nap attack.
It's freezing here, and I love it. I don't know what
We
freezing
warmed
is.
up to 53. That's warm for this time of year. Miss
All the
Autumn with
trees are
us.
bare though, so there's that. I do miss the leaves a little bit because it looks very barren when you go outside. Everything is just gone. But oh well, it'll be
Our,
back, and then I'll complain about allergies then. So
I'm finding our leaves are falling slowly. I have my Japanese maple in the backyard fell fast, like they're all down. But in the front, the other trees, like they're very slow at losing their leaves this year.
they're all dying one day. One day. We're not there yet, y'all. So calm down. But
Keep
one day.
checking those obituaries.
Is that a magnet?
It is. I just have nowhere to stick it. It's the kind of thing though that you blow up and put on the wall. So
Well, you start collecting enough magnets, you can get a magnet board and hang there.
so hopefully everybody's good. Quite a eventful news week. A little bit. I don't know if eventful is the word I'm looking for, but I got a few things written down. Run past you here.
Looney
But
Tunes?
to start with, Jen, you got any announcements? Anything coming up?
Lori's in the chat. Lori and I are going live on Thanksgiving Day on Lori's channel, The Way of Positive Change. If you haven't subscribed to her, get over there and subscribe. We'll be going live at 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Thanksgiving. And if you'd like to book an appointment with me, I've got some openings in December. And I'm taking a week off after Christmas. So if you want an appointment before Christmas, get in there quick. JenLynTarot.com. 2 N's in Jen, 2 N's in Lynn. Check your spam folder after you book an appointment because the confirmation probably went to your spam folder. Right, boo-boo?
Yes.
So, Autumn, Black, and Orange, you got anything you want to announce?
Day after Christmas is going to be 6 years of being there every day, other than 2 emergencies. And that's not 2 emergencies a year, that's 2 emergencies total. So it'll be 6 years. I've been on every day.
Wow,
So,
congratulations.
It does. I mean, when you look back, because YouTube sends us the thing, they're like, hey, you've been on here for 1,000 years type of thing. And you think it's flown by. But at the same time, you think, because it's never going to end.
Yes. Also, something that isn't directly something isn't directly related to me, but something I was watching earlier, a random thing on YouTube. It was pretty funny. Somebody took Monopoly and made it communist.
Mm.
So if you search for that on YouTube, it was pretty good. You know, if you
He left.
yeah, if you go, it's like if you go to jail. Oh, if you get too much money, you go to jail, and then if you roll a 1 while you're in jail, you just disappear. You become a whole different person with a different.
Get shoved out a window.
Yeah, it's very silly, but it's cute. So,
Becca Lenormand, anything? Okay, so I have class information. So please, pretty please, pay attention. That way I don't have to type it all again when you email me the second time. Beginner's class.
What's the road?
is Sunday, January the 4th through February the 8th. It's every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific. It is always recorded on Zoom. It's $100 PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. I don't have Zelle, and you can't write me a check.
That's for the whole class, all the classes, not per week. That's all the classes.
I teach from the Rider-Waite. You do not have to have the Rider-Waite, but it makes it easier to follow along. Most tarot decks are based upon the Rider-Waite, which is why I teach from that one. That way your other cards will make sense to you. The level 2 class we will do several times in 2026 because the list is too long to do everybody in one class, because those classes have to be short, or not short, they have to be smaller, because I work with each individual person instead of like the beginner's class. It's all kind of auditorium style. But the level 2 class is on a Saturday, January the 10th through January the 31st. It is at 5 p.m. Pacific. That's also $100. PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. I don't take checks, and I don't have Zelle. And I will email each one of you who have given me your names for the level 2 class to let you know when, because it's first come, first serve, in which class you will be in. They'll be every 4 weeks. And so I'll let you know what dates you have. If those dates don't work for you, there's no problem. I can just try to move you into something or somewhere else. So we can be flexible on the level 2 class. The beginner's class, again, is January the 4th through February the 8th. The level 2 class is January the 10th through January the 31st, the first one. Okay. That's all I do. Now,
actually, Johnny, you probably, if anyone would have it, Meryl Street is asking, are there any tarot cards in Braille?
yes, but I don't know where to get them from. And there's also carvings too, like little tarot tiles, and they'll have an A and then a pentacle, so you can also feel in that too. If you know what an A feels like, type of thing. So, for those who don't know, there is a child by the name of Natalie Green, no relation to the Marjorie that we'll talk about a little bit later. And I want to read this from ABC News. A former congressional staffer has been accused of fabricating a violent attack against herself at a New Jersey park, according to a criminal complaint. Natalie Green, all of 26 years old, bless her heart. You starting off life the wrong way.
What was the actor or singer that did that? Or was it
Jussie Smollett?
Yeah. So she pulled the Jussie Smollett.
Natalie Green, 26-year-old, paid a body modification artist to scar her and then claimed she had been assaulted in a politically motivated crime in July, the complaint alleges. The Ocean City, New Jersey resident has been charged with 1 count of conspiracy to convey false statements and hoaxes, and 1 count of making false statements to federal law enforcement. Now, she previously worked for a representative named Jeffrey Van Drew, which we'll talk about him a little bit later. Mind you, let me fast forward here too. Law enforcement found that Green found her in a wooded area, bound by zip ties.
With her shirt pulled
and she
over
had
her head.
lacerations on her head and her chest, and the criminal complaint alleges a sexual slur, calling her a whore, referencing Trump, and a statement calling her former employee a racist was written on her stomach. According to the pictures they have, mind you. This is not alleged. There's pictures of this. So the investigation revealed that Green had not, in fact, been attacked by 3 men at gunpoint on July 23rd. Instead, Green had a body modification and scarification artist to deliberately cut the lacerations in her face, her neck, her upper chest, her shoulder, based upon a pattern that had been provided beforehand. So she showed them, this is what I want, and then they carved these things into this child. Now, mind you, law enforcement also found zip ties in her car, allegedly consistent with the ones that was used to bind her, and discovered that the co-conspirators that helped her do this whole thing had Googled the words zip ties near me so that they would know where to buy.
Because they're so smart.
So that they would know where to buy zip ties to pull off this whole thing. Green told FBI agent that she, after the attack, she had been receiving threatening messages at work in an investigation of her phone. Allegedly found messages with modification and scarification artist in Pennsylvania, who gave law enforcement a copy of the receipt for $500 worth of scarification work.
Now, mind you, not only is she going to get in trouble with the law, but now she's permanently scarred by her own doing. Literally. On her stomach, she had them carve Trump's whore on her stomach. You have that for life now, sweetheart, on top of whatever's going to happen.
Between birth and 26, what went wrong there? What went wrong? You can't blame it on retrograde because this was in July. I mean, it could have been then too, but still, it's like what went wrong there?
I don't know.
So I want to baby step this a little bit here. I first want to know, in her mind, what was she doing? What was the point? What was the plan? What was the purpose? After all of this was done to yourself, she wanted what? It's a girl.
What was the end goal? I'll tell you what went wrong. Reagan killed a lot of our mental health care facilities.
Did you buy some of that arsenic dirt? Is that what happened? And you ate it?
Forgot about that. There'd be a tariff on that now because that comes from Canada.
Yes.
You gotta pay a tariff on your arsenic.
What was the
On your dirt.
What in the world's wrong with this child?
Faked an attack.
I don't get it.
Trump's whore faked an attack.
And this, you know what? You just
I can answer if you want. Tell you what I've got.
go for it.
Oops. She got to be the main character. Look at me, look at me, look at me. This was a little aggressive, a little, and then what I got was like Major Arcana Palooza. I've got Judgment, Star, again, center of attention, maybe even get Trump's attention. And instead, I'm thinking community service, and she's got some serious, this is probably a psych hospital stay. But it's look at me, 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 look at me. And yeah, she does not have a full deck.
Does not have a full deck.
The question is in regards to a girl named Natalie Green that staged her own attack in New Jersey to blame it on the left.
Yeah.
That's what the question is.
She thought this was her legacy. She'd be in all the history books. Girl's got problems, deeply rooted problems, and she's waiting on clarity. She has no clarity. She's got mental issues. She thought, to Autumn's point, that her image, it's my Trump card now. Thank you, Rose and Wood Sprite. She thought she would get the attention of Trump somehow, and that would elevate her She was trying to send a message to him to help heal all the burdens he's going through. But she's planned this for a long time. She's wanted to do this, so she really thought about it. Yeah, you're gonna have some problems.
Think about something else then. Get a Scrabble board.
Did you all see that one girl that tattooed Trump in big, black, huge, bold letters across her forehead? She took people in on social media while she went and sat in a chair and got Trump in huge, black, bold letters tattooed across her forehead.
You know, I would have thrown in an extra $10 if the artist would have misspelled it. That would have been
I would have paid an extra 10 if he'd slipped and given her a lobotomy while he's up there.
just put wrong on the top of her head or something. It would have been fantastic, I think. Okay, Becca, what'd you get?
Woman crossroads ship star's coffin. I asked what she was trying to achieve with that stunt, a greater political divide and attention, but it obviously didn't succeed. But there's an illness here too that will come up eventually because it sits far away from her. So it's woman, ship, and coffin. During this period, if she's evaluated, they'll find some sort of illness, perhaps bipolar or something that she's not being treated for. But her goal was to create a bigger political divide.
Got Trumpitis.
Balance issues, because there's your balancing one thing and another, and then there's the conflict with the Five of Wands, and again, attention. Look at me, that type of thing. Maybe she wanted to be a celebrity or something, but she wanted a grand image of some kind. Maybe she wanted to be, in Trump's inner circle or something like that, but she wanted some attention. There's different ways to get it, though, homegirl. I mean, you could have Googled attention and maybe, Anyhow, I want to know, though, because since she's all scarificated, what is her future like now? Where is she headed? Is she going to get some 5150, as someone said in the chat? Is she going to get some help? Is she going to just walk around like this and be like,
how are you going to explain that on your stomach? Trump's whore. That's permanent. That's I'm not a doctor, but I don't know if there's surgeries for scarification.
You can get plastic surgery.
But you paid somebody $500 to do that to you.
Yes.
You got busted.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord. So what's her future?
What does it look like? Because she's not normal now. She doesn't look normal. She doesn't think normal. She doesn't operate normal.
Can't throw that on a fire like they've been doing with the MAGA hats.
And she's 26. She's got a whole bunch of life ahead of her, maybe.
Can I go?
Absolutely.
No, Susan, it wasn't Sharpie on the belly because I saw pictures from the local news in New Jersey and they showed it. They had the word whore blurred out, but it was floating around social media of what it actually said, and it wasn't a Sharpie. She was cut up with that on her stomach. But another thing that they did see is before she got scarred, they had the Sharpie marks of where they were going to scar her, like you do when you get a tattoo. They don't just tattoo you freehand. They draw up a stencil and stick it on you, and that's what they tattoo. That's the same thing that they did with the scarification, and that was part of the reason that they found out, oh, you paid somebody for this. So
I'm actually amazed that she could plan ahead like that. Because she might get a little bit of attention, not what she wanted, I mean, talk about a come down, giant amounts of attention, money, or whatever, and it's just but she's got big problems, big problems that are going to get worse. There's potential here for homelessness, criminality. Card for the reading is the Tower. I think her mental state is going to get worse. I am sorry to say that. I don't wish that on anybody, but I have, somebody needs to seriously help her because I'm not even getting a long life, and that's sad. So please, someone,
her co-conspirator, her friend that she planned all this out with, that tied her up and zip tied her and pulled the shirt over her head and everything else, her friend was the one that called the cops.
Okay, that makes sense because I get a friend that took an action. So that makes sense, like haul her away because she had been planning this. It was premeditated. She thought it would be her legacy work, but I think she's going away for a long, long time. She's got major, major problems, probably a nervous breakdown coming for her. She's not going to change either. I'm getting like, just constantly defending the bully, and even after he's gone, she'll still be defending him. She'll be one of those saying RFK Jr.'s coming or JFK Jr.'s coming back. He's going to be in Dallas the next day. She'll be one of those standing on a street corner saying that Trump's coming back. It's all lies, chaos, and Autumn's point again, probably homelessness once she gets out of a mental institute.
That's sad.
I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't already, if she ends up with hidden addictions, or if she is a victim of sexual assault that she hasn't told anybody about. But there's addictions that are hidden in assault or abuse that is hidden, that is not known about. It could have happened out of school, at a university, something like that. But a serious mental breakdown, and I think it comes from the law, because the law is here, and it's almost like they throw the book at her in a way, but it's almost like she's not right in the head, but as a result of this, the consequences may cause her to have addictions if she doesn't have them already, and some sort of a mental breakdown is what I'm getting.
Temperance. This is the card of healing, but it is healing of trauma and traumas and things of that nature. Also, some attempts of reconciliation and repairing your relationships, because that suffers, and it will suffer for a while here. 10 of Swords and the 2 of Cups. There is a lot of suffering when it comes to you and your relationships and the people you know. There is some sort of overindulgence of something with the 9 of Cups and the Sun there too, and that's going to come out. So you are going to get a lot of attention that you asked for, and it's not going to be the good kind. Now, mind you, she has bonded on $200,000 bond, I think it was. So as far as, I don't think she's poor. So, but the problem is, because there's a woman here who's willing to help her, I suppose. Maybe that's her mother of some sort. But there's a lot of pulling back and pulling away, because people are going to see you as tainted now, because I think they're not going to be merciful when it comes to the law, because your word of warning is the 5 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles. There will be some isolation. There's going to be some talks about voices and paranoia and things of that nature too. And so, yeah. Be well, child. Be well. That's all I can really say. New Jersey Republican Representative Jefferson Van Drew. That's who she worked for formerly. What does he think of this?
Well, you know, they don't like to screen people for anything. They don't like to do background checks, so you get what you get.
Can I go?
Uh-huh.
All of the, I'm assuming he's a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm getting hello, sweetheart. all the empathy of a diehard Republican politician. Just sitting pretty. Oh, that's a shame. He saw that they were, like, if she was even around much, he saw that she had issues. Now she's being held because she was lying to the police and what have you. And I'm getting a big old, oh, that's a shame. Yeah.
That's what I get. That's a mess.
Yeah, I think he was aware she was very emotional, and maybe, to Johnny's point, has some drug addictions or something. It's giving birth to justice. So he thinks she's going away. He's trying to, break any affiliation with her away. He's moving on from it. He's trying to run from it. He's like, let me get on my horse and gallop away as fast as I can. He may even need to take some kind of action against her, like a restraining order or something. But he thinks she's going away. He's being all smug about it. It's like he doesn't care.
Ain't that lovely?
What is he thinking? Oh shit. Scythe Bear Book Letter Ship. Oh shit. Something about secret finances that she knows about that come from abroad. Financial transcripts, secret transcripts. There's something there about finances that he doesn't want coming out, but she knows about it. And it's from abroad, or it has to do with him traveling. So, but it's
better be careful, or she'll get Mr. Epps in jail.
Resources that are hidden, she knows about them.
Because, mind you, they all seem to have this MO of using public money to take trips everywhere. And that would be, she was a staffer. She wasn't just, the girl who went and got coffee.
She has knowledge about it. It's either trips or money that came from abroad and money that was used for trips. But it's not just money. It's loads of, like, a lot of money, like millions. See what I'm saying?
Like gold bars of money.
Yeah. That sort of thing. And financial transcripts too, or emails or correspondence talking about finances. So,
thank you for the super chat. I've got the 4 of Cups and the 10 of Cups news story. It's whatever. These are his people there with the 10 of Cups. That's your community, part of your entourage. And the 4 of Cups is news story. It is what it is. Another thing on the wall. It's orchestrated chaos too, to where he may feel as though she may have been drama queen at some point, or maybe passing a little judgment there with the magician and the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups as well. So maybe she was doing this. If no one's pulling his name into it and saying he helped her or something like that, then he doesn't care. Well, speaking of cutting and surgeries and things of that nature, according to The Guardian, plastic surgeons, especially in DC and around the surrounding areas, are having troubles and issues with one request: Mar-a-Lago face.
Oh God, no. Oh, God.
Apparently, that is a thing people want.
People want that. They're willing to pay to
Yes.
get Mar-a-Lago face.
Yes. Now, mind you,
It's so gross.
if you listen, it's your body, it's your money. You do what you want to do. But here's what I'm saying: want you first before you want improvements second. Okay, want you first. That way, when you look in the mirror, you're okay. And if you just want to tweak this and tweak, do it. Go for it. I mean, that's what it's there for. Science advances, right? But if you're trying to look like somebody else so that you can fit in with somebody else, that you're chasing the wrong thing. You're chasing the waterfalls, as they say.
I assume we're talking about the women.
Yes, so far.
Somebody in the chat saying, "What is that?" Look at Laura Loomer. Look at Lara Trump. Look at Guilfoyle. You know, they all have these like big lips and
Cartoonish face.
faces and boob jobs up to here. It's all plastic surgery. They all look alike. And when you see pictures at Mar-a-Lago at events, there's even older women that try to look like that. And
And that's
just
what that's
looks
what
like
I don't
this.
understand. That's what I don't understand. Everything up here is tight and full of filler and God knows what else. From here down, you're all wrinkly. You can't hide this. You can't hide the aging on your hands. You can't hide the aging on your chest. I don't care if you have triple Z boobs. You're still going to have wrinkles up here. Like I don't get it. I can't comprehend the desire to want to do that.
It's like the woman that took the Barbie facelifts to an extreme and cosmetic surgery to an extreme. It's like, oh my God, look inside and find some happiness in there before you start trying to look like everybody else. It's gross.
Have you seen Laura Loomer? She looks like Jigsaw.
It is not even attractive. It is not attractive.
Oh my God. Ew.
So
Be
my question:
more like a cat. Cats don't care, right?
And the thing is, the more plastic surgery you get, the older you look. Kimberly Guilfoyle isn't even in her 50s, I don't think. She looks like she's 65 trying to look
and
like
there
a
was
kid.
nothing wrong with the way she looked at first.
No. It ages you. That's what I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it.
The lip fillers are what kill me. Like, why do you want the duck lips? I don't get it.
Because Black women have been saying it since the beginning of time. You want to look like us, but you don't want to be us.
Exactly.
You want
Ding,
big
ding,
lips,
ding.
you want big hips, you want all the lusciousness and the juiciness, but you don't want to be black.
They want the BBL, and they're sitting there
Mhm.
paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for a BBL.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, girl, you can just go to the gym, like that'll do it. Like,
They don't have time for that. They're running around with all the pedophiles and freaks
So my question is,
for
with
entertainment.
these things, often when there's a fad, there's often regret afterwards. If this grows, hypothetical, if this grows and we have more people and more and more women, I'll focus on women. With the Mar-a-Lago face, will we have more stories of regret coming out too?
Because once you start with that stuff, you can't go back.
Because if he goes down and his reputation goes down with it, and then Mar-a-Lago goes with it, what do you look like and who are you hanging out with now? Now who do you need to go and chop your face up to look like?
it's maintenance, Jen. You're looking at like $3,500, $4,000 a month just for Botox. That's not even counting fillers and everything else. It's like, what?
Not to mention health risks and everything else.
I mean, I guess Botox is relatively safe. It's all the other fillers and stuff that are questionable, but I don't get it.
I can go.
Go.
Okay.
Judgment. They want to be in the in crowd. They want to be. They think they will get actual power for this. If it was someone other than Trump in power, a Republican, but somebody else, they wouldn't be doing it, or they'd be trying to get a different look. This is not even about, a woman who decides, I want to look younger, or I want to, augment different parts of my body to be more youthful or attract men. This is power. This is like getting a membership at Mar-a-Lago. Will they regret it? Yeah, you've messed yourself up for good. And there's a whole lot of procedures there. You need more and more. They're in good company. There are a bunch of them. But it's they want to fit in. They're being told this is going to help them. And the reality is they've just set themselves up for trouble for the rest of their lives. But you lay down with dogs, you get up with Mar-a-Lago face.
Okay, I'm just going to say this from the start because Johnny always says, get you a reading with JenLynTarot.com. Yes, I'm an energy healer. Yes, I do healing energy work. I can't help with this. This is beyond my pay scale. They, you know who's going to regret it the most is Melania. They're going to be isolated, paying out all the time. This is their lifestyle. They've got the money, but the exposure to the sun is going to really cause them to have to do more work. Will they regret it? Yes. They'll constantly be looking for something new to move forward with, and it'll take time because you can't change things overnight. And they're stuck on this beauty and inspiration, and then they go after it. So it also changes how their body heals. So they may find that they don't recover from surgeries as quickly, or they catch, the flu more easily. Like, it affects their immune system and everything. These women are, they're going to have all kinds of pains and aches and be on medications like painkillers and everything else for the rest of their lives. Will they regret it? Yeah, because they're going to be isolated quite a bit.
I get the bear clouds, fox, heart, coffin. Will they regret it? Yeah. This is something that currently is viewed as something of financial status, which brings power. You're putting it on your face. I belong to this socioeconomic class. However, what they don't realize is that that's not looked upon very favorably. People look at that and go, ew, why? We don't want anything to do with you. You're trash. You're a swindler. You're a con artist. You're a scammer, a huckster. Will they regret it? Yeah. When the desire for that no longer exists. So you're going to be walking around with the face full of whatever that you're going to have to pay somebody to get out your face,
And your little stilettos and your push-up bras and everything else. Good luck with that.
I guess you can take fillers out, but that's a whole different procedure. So you just spent money 3, 4, 5 times, and you put yourself through that. How many times? And you just look gross. And you're already advertising on your appearance that you're a piece of crap, or you're associating with people that are trash. So I'm just saying. Don't regret it.
Judi Dench, Dame Judi Dench. Respect on that name. Wrinkles on top of wrinkles. I would sit and have a conversation with her any time of the day or night. These Mar-a-Lago people, never.
I adore Dame Judi Dench, my favorite actress.
To be protected at all costs. Up there with the Dolly Parton. You protect at all costs. It's a status thing. 9 of Pentacles, however, it's accompanied by the 5 of Wands. When you chase status, you have to keep up with status, which means you can't go get your face done. You have to keep your face done. And if the next fad is to have this kind of eye and that kind of nose, and you got to go get that. And so it is very difficult to obtain this when it is not something that is set. If it changes with the season, then you have to also change with the season. That's why you should maybe stick to just wardrobe changes, because you can buy clothes and take those on and off. When you start cutting and then healing and then cutting and healing and cutting and healing and pulling back and pulling back and pulling back to where your nose is at the back of your head, then you have a problem.
Meanwhile, the rest of you from here down, you can see all sorts of aging.
Still looks like you.
So unless you're planning to wear turtlenecks year round and gloves and not show your feet or your legs, people are going to know that you're your age.
But will you regret it? Yes. 5 of Cups is the card of regret, and the Knight of Cups is the card of image. So yes, you will regret such a thing. Mind you, if you paid attention, and mind you, sometimes it's hard to realize the lesson when you're in the middle of the storm. So I get that. But with the 5 of Cups, there are 3 cups that are fallen over and 2 that remain. And so what you could learn in this is that chasing status was not for you, but you're still alive. You still have relatively your health. You have some money. You have some connections or some friends. You can go and find a real life instead of trying to chase this image of what a social circle could be. And if you need help finding out how to do that, JenLynTarot.com. So,
if all else fails, set a new trend.
I mean,
Be yourself, set a new trend.
I'm not here to bash people on cosmetic surgery. Do what you want to do, but don't walk in there with a picture of these women from Mar-a-Lago and say, make me look like that.
Make me look like that. Well, speaking of pictures, Matthew Gates is having quite the time with all his business coming back out into the world, huh?
Oh, yes. Spill the tea, Johnny. Spill the tea.
Because there's a child that said they had a relation, and he said it didn't happen. And she was what, 15, 16, 17, somewhere around in there?
Yep.
And Joel Greenberg of Seminole, Florida, said he was the one that went to jail. He was one of the co-conspirators with Matthew Gates and basically told it all. And so Gates is still denying, mind you, because why wouldn't you? But this has resurfaced. We hadn't heard this story in quite a bit, but now it's all come back again. Now, granted, he's not the most popular of Republicans. And
this isn't the 17-year-old. This is somebody else, right?
Well, I'm not even asking about the, well, thank you, Rose Blue, about the crime so much. I'm asking more so the future for Matt Gates, because this has come out before nothing happened. It's come out again. Are we still repeating the nothing happened? Because are these just news stories? Are these just headlines? And you got all this information. She's come out. The girl has a lawyer and the whole thing. Like, but is this going anywhere? Does anybody care to even investigate, to prosecute, or indict? So
I think a long time ago we said there would be other women that would come out that were underage with him. You know, you do it once, you've probably done it a lot. Right. Old habits die hard.
Who? Okay. Entertainment only, YouTube. Entertainment only.
And allegedly.
And allegedly. Oh man. To quote Kesha, the party don't start till he walks in. I don't think it's gone away. I don't think his partying days are behind him. The energy is so gross. Did he continue, or did he potentially do stuff? Quite a bit. Quite. There's a lot to come out. There's also, because he wanted, let's just say, a lot of notches in his belt. And not good, considering I got a devil card right in the middle. So, yeah, it can come back to, oh, is that coming back? Yeah. But, and he thinks he can do exactly what he did before, and it'll just go away. So I had a look, and I got young people here, and I have to wonder if, because of what's going on with the Epstein stuff, that there's more focus on this. And if this woman's willing to come out, then it's just a matter of time. Because he can try to, muddy the waters, but she's got the secrets, and this is part of a whole rise of victims being able to come forward and be believed. If you don't like Matt Gaetz, I feel very deeply like you will like him less, even if you think that's not even possible. That's what it feels like.
Because there's grime under the dirt.
He's going to be looked at as disgusting, because he's going to get burdened by a whole bunch of parties that went on, and a whole bunch of over the top crap that was done. He's going to be put in defense mode. This will go to court. This woman will be successful. Once she's successful, I get 3 more will come out. He's paid money to them. So giving them money for school, like he did with that first one or whatever, there's just some money. They got receipts. Dude is going to be in for the fight of his life. He doesn't know how to hide from this. He just doesn't know how to hide. Wouldn't surprise me if he hasn't done some things overseas also. People have evidence. Yeah, Epstein had cameras in every room. People have evidence of Matt Gaetz.
And the Epstein cameras weren't subtle. You can see most of them. Like, giant thing right there.
He made several bribes for relationships, but those have ended. I wouldn't be surprised if his marriage is in trouble, because it's bouquet, ring, coffin. That's a marriage or a promise or a commitment that comes to an end. Several affairs and a lot of travel. But what happens to him, I don't get the law or anything. So perhaps stuff is discovered about several affairs that he had where he had to travel to get there. So, but I don't see jail. I don't see any of that.
Or it gets tied into trafficking like before, because he takes them over the state line, that kind of thing.
I mean, there's several affairs, but it's like that tie is cut off or ended somehow. See? Ring, coffin. That link ends, or the link ends. But there's something here about where he made several trips or traveled a couple of times. So, but I don't see the law. I only pulled a line of 5. I don't see the law.
I think he'll probably get sued within an inch of his life, is what it feels like.
Well, for you, but for me, this is more like, well, so what?
You can't expect a marriage to last long when you're marry somebody that has a porn name, Ginger Lucky.
You know, this is the last two of the read. So it's either several trips that he took, but these are 2 action cards, so it's almost like he gets away with it. So, which I would hope not. I hope that girl is very well lawyered up, you know, and doesn't take a deal, doesn't just take him for his money, like actually goes after him criminally or whatever is available to her. You know, I don't know. Is he being investigated or charges being brought criminally, or is it civil?
I get that there's some victory for him actually after a while with the Knight of Pentacles. This is going to take some time, and there may be a payout of some kind too, but I don't get jail. But what they need is records of financial transactions. It's being blocked at the moment for whatever reason, but there's financial transactions here, and that's being blocked at the moment, but there will be some release of that. Because it's going to show a pattern of behavior, and it's also going to show locations where he may have spent money and done some things that kind of corroborate some people's stories. And so the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands would be like locations, also some foreign locations as well. And the High Priestess is going to be the things that he is trying to keep secret. Word of warning, 10 of Swords, there will be a heavy loss. But again, I don't think it's jail, but I think whatever it is that he does covet, maybe just reputation and money, then he loses a lot of that. But, you know, he's a trust fund baby, so I guess he'll be all right.
This guy has weaseled himself out of every possible scandal that he's had. And it's because I think his family is well ingrained in politics in Florida. So I didn't see him going to jail or anything.
Well,
you know, federal indictments aren't going to come out of this DOJ that's covering for Trump. Come on.
right.
So if anything happens, it'll be at a state level.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
it's-
good luck to hold your breath with that either, because we've seen how that's worked out with Jeffrey Epstein.
What's that, Autumn, you were holding up?
Oh, it was the 4 of Pentacles. So I think he's going to be losing a lot of money. That's all I get. But no jail. I agree. Who is that precious gray face?
That's Roro,
Hello, Roro.
my tarot cat coming up to read, and Bella is thinking about jumping up here on the arm, the white cat.
Cat talk, you ruined my transition.
Oh.
Sorry.
Now I can't talk about the horrible people. Well, let me find something funny. Wait a minute.
Roro's the one that turns around, shows her butt all the time. It looks like Trump's mouth, you know.
Is that who here? Because somebody did ask in the chat, what's this cat's name? Who's on
Yes, that's her Trump impersonation when she shows you her little butthole. Right, Roro? I'm making fun of you. You don't look like Trump.
Well, you know what? Let's go there for just a second.
But your butthole does.
Donald Trump says, release the files. Go right. Throw them all out there. Put it out there. Why?
Moses Mike is losing his mind because he thought the Senate would change it before sending it on to Trump. He has lost his mind.
Now, mind
What?
you, Sunny Hostin of The View, she said her theory was if they want to investigate, especially like Democrats or something like that, then you can release the files, but they cannot be released to the public because they're part of an open investigation. And so he can look innocent enough by saying release them, but then they won't be released because they're part of an investigation.
Yeah, because now they've got new evidence and they're going to start doing investigations again. Pam Bondi, piece of crap.
Yeah. So why? Why release?
Sorry.
But he's been losing his mind so much, yelling so much. He's been hoarse in his press conferences or every time they interview him.
Because everybody
yelling.
behind the scenes says he's freaking out.
go to a football game and scream and yell a lot. You're hoarse the next day. That's what he is. He's hoarse the next day. What you got, Autumn?
He signed it because of Pam Bondi. Right there in the middle. That she will drag her feet. She will. But there's very specific wording in the bill that says that whatever she redacts, she has to explain what she's redacting and why. She has to go before Congress. And we know that that doesn't usually end very well anyway, because they don't answer questions. But it's in there, so they by law should get it at least in writing. But no, he's expecting. He was very. This is Trump, the young bully, thinking he's more. I hate to say this. I hate to use this term, but it's what came to me. Mentally reliving his glory days.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's not good. But Pam Bondi is supposed to whisk stuff away, and others are supposed to go in front of judges or Congress to throw themselves on their swords to make him look good. But I don't even understand why the amount of panic I get off of him, because he's gotten away with so much for so long. But there's something about this that he's terrified. It's just panic. Oh, let me share. Anytime anybody says Epstein or Epstein files around him, he turns into one of those tube men at the used car lots where he's just every time someone says Epstein, he does that.
He is full of hot air. So it's okay.
Yeah, he has agreements with people, the emissaries that work for him. He still thinks he has dominion over them. There he is. He thinks he's still got strength over the people that work for him. And there's agreements, and he thinks he can just turn his back on this, even though there's evidence. He's in the files, obviously. Out of the 20,000 pages that were released so far, he's listed 2,000 times. What is that? Every 10 pages, there's his name again. He thinks that, he can keep the secret, but people are dissatisfied with him. He's the loser. And because this involves people that were children, he can't block the children. He's going to be trapped in this. The women are going to keep exposing him. And I think Epstein's estate too. Because that's where all these emails came from, not from Pam Bondi. They came from Epstein's estate.
That one congresswoman, I forget her name, but she's been making the rounds, and she said that she has read all of the Epstein files and all of the accusations that were made by a 13-year-old girl that Trump raped her. And some other stuff. So anyways, child ring key writer Moon. Why did he agree? He agreed because he thought this would just solve the problem and the media would just shut up and he can look pretty at the end of it. That's it. I gave you what you want. Shut up now. That's what I get. But he's an important part of that. Child ring. Important. So
Child ring.
Yeah, that's what child ring key writer and Moon. Those are the cards. So I mean, you can't get any more literal than that. The children that were important, that were delivered or visited, it's going to come out. It's going to be recognized. It's going to get a lot of the spotlight. It's already out there, so.
In short, it was advice from legal counsel or advice from Pam Bondi, basically. That she said, do it.
And that's what every lawyer that I've seen, like Michael Popak and all the other ones, they're saying it's a lot easier to defend you than it is to cover it up and get caught. Because I guess there's like safeguards in that bill to release it. So like no tampering with the evidence. And mind you, everything is electronic, that there's not just one copy of those files. Those things are everywhere. And I'm sure it's abroad too. So it's not just here in the US. Other people have those files. If you're going to redact, you have to run it by us to get our approval. It can only be redacted temporarily. I mean, they put all sorts of provisions in there, and they made it like a trap. Like if you even touch this and try to tamper it, we're going to catch you, because we know. And all of the victims' lawyers have read through everything, so they would be able to tell that's wrong, that wasn't there before. You know, so it's not like, and mind you, we're dealing with a bunch of people that are not very sharp. So they're bound to screw up somewhere if they try to mess with anything. Like, it's not like, I mean, we're dealing with the Three Stooges here, you know, between Trump.
Remember too, the DOJ and FBI that was there during Biden's time that put Ghislaine in jail have seen all this stuff.
Exactly. So it's not like, you know, and anyways, I'll shut up. But yeah, it's not going to be easy for them to try to tamper with evidence.
Well, speaking of tampering, judge somewhere, some way, somehow has told Texas that your map cannot be used in the year of 2026. And Republicans are not very happy about that down south. What I want to know, though, is how will that map, or the cutting off of the map?
Johnny, I had seen that Ken Paxton said he's going to take it all the way up to the Supreme Court.
Go for it.
I thought he did.
And in his statement, he screwed up because he said that they're totally free to redistrict based on partisan lines. He put that on there, partisan, not bipartisan, partisan. Like, we're allowed to pick our voters.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Didn't
Look at this one. She got 2 breakfasts today. 2. I gave her breakfast, and then she conned her dad to give her a second breakfast.
You know, in the Shire, they call that second breakfast.
She's a little healthy. I'm going to go
Lord of
feed
the
her
Rings.
before she throws a fit.
So how will this affect
What-
Republicans in Texas? Yeah, go ahead.
I want to say Alito. He blocked that lower court's order to block
The map.
or something like that. Did I hallucinate that? Please let me know. But I thought so. But it doesn't make, it's nothing here nor there. Temporary administrative stay, spiritual hacks. I think so.
Has the map been implemented?
I think they started, but then the court said no, and then Alito
Because they're trying to pull California.
something.
Well, they're trying to pull a Republican. That's what they all do.
So what's going to happen with the redistricting map? Is that it?
No, we'll come back to that. I'm
I'm
writing
sorry.
it down.
Alito temporarily stayed the Texas map case until briefings on Monday. Okay. Thank you, Amora.
So, elephant in the room. She says she's resigning next year. And she's resigning next year. Here's my problem. Okay, first of all, right at the top. Why is it that everyone who wants to challenge Donald Trump on something quit Congress all of a sudden? Like, you want to just go and be loud and obnoxious, then stay out of Congress. That way we don't have to fool with you in the first place. But why don't you do that in the middle where you can enact some sort of change? But I understand you don't want to go up against Donald Trump and the MAGA hats. You used to be one. But why does everybody want to leave Congress first and then speak out? That just drives me nuts. But what I want to know is why. I don't care what she said. I want to know what your cards say. Why is she leaving?
Can't trust anything out of her mouth because she was at the January 5th meeting in the Willard Hotel. So this woman has been over backwards for Trump. But suddenly Epstein's a bridge too far.
I did do I did dive pretty deeply into her astrology, transits, progression, solar arcs, the whole thing. And she's actually, I think this is, I'm sure there's a real reason where maybe she thinks she can go run for something else. She's not quitting now. She's quitting a few days after her full pension kicks in. Yeah, but whatever whatever reason she's thinking or whatever it is, there's a ton of stuff going on in her chart that says you can't keep going the way you've been going. And her chart itself is a nightmare. It is just all like, we never know what's going to come out of her mouth, and neither does she. And everything's a battle.
In my opinion, she's been doing insider trading, so investigate her for that. If she was insider trading, zero pension, none.
And some penitentiary.
For all of them who do that.
I mean.
She's getting death threats. Well, how many people got death threats because of her mouth running?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she went to the Pitchfork Parade, so you know those people. You marched with those people. You wore the hat of those people. You can't cry now that they're now threatening you because you're going up against their little boss.
What I get, she may try to run for something, it won't work, but she doesn't need it anymore. And Trump has made it perfectly clear, and Republicans have made it perfectly clear, she's never getting anywhere. She's never advancing. They are not going to work with her. She is persona non grata. And I think some of it is, as soon as she was speaking with the victims, the Epstein victims, that was the last straw for them. And she did a lot. She did a lot for MAGA, for Trump. But she's full of herself, and now she has enough money she doesn't have to think about it. Now, will she try to do something beyond this? Maybe, but it is really, she is forever roped with Trump stuff, with MAGA, and voters are just not interested at all.
I want to ask it that way next, because she's trying to break her image from being attached to Trump and being a supporter of him. It's the timing of it, big changes here. She may have designs on running for president or something, running for the White House. But there's a lot of anxiety around the men that she's been working with. There's going to be more illumination on things that she's going to try to run from. And that's going to cause people to pause and get a different perspective on her, on what her end game is, because there's a whole bunch of Republicans tied in with the Epstein list and everything. I don't get, like, that things go well for her, but I want to ask, what's her next step? What's she going to end up doing? Because I almost feel like she could end up in media like Matt Gaetz did or something like that.
The Five of Wands, why is she leaving? Because she is embattled. The Knight of Swords, it's becoming a little too chaotic and a little crazy for her. The Page of Swords, yeah. There's lies and gossips and news being spread about her. And she feels as though that her position is no longer secure. And so
she's been getting,
like you're losing power and you're losing your grip upon everything. And so you want to tell and run, basically.
she's going to do something different. I can't, she may make a run for the presidency or something. She won't get far, but I guess she's going to be so burdened. She has to get into something different.
Jenlyn. Burdened.
Yeah. She's got to do something completely different. In ending what she's been doing and reassessing. She's either going to end up in the media or working for a lobbyist. Something where she can make money and still do her insider trading. Because she's corrupt as crap.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't mean to interrupt your flow. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just trying to figure out what her next job's going to end up being.
Well, the thing is, though, I mean, she's been trying to make friends, but she's so burdened. But here's the thing: what other job could she have? Because she's so loud, she's so obnoxious, she's so abrasive by nature, and when she's not trying to play nice, who wants that?
Well,
Lobbyists?
there's always Fox News and CNN, so
I have this feeling like they don't like her.
No, of course they don't. But they'll pay her if
Maybe get a job with Turning Point USA where she can get on a stage and blow smoke all day.
pro wrestler.
Yeah, pro wrestler.
My question on like to piggyback on this. Let's say this is all smoke and mirror. She decides to stay. Just hypothetically, will the MAGA Republicans, the powers that be, pay money to unseat her and put someone else in her position? Will they then try to get her out?
She's a woman that could use Mar-a-Lago faith. Would actually be an improvement.
And that's sad. She got them Neanderthal caveman eyes. They're too close together. She could use a little something,
A little something.
Can I just say one thing though, in regards to all of this MTG stuff? The left has hated this woman for years, almost 10 years. Not once did she ever fear for her safety to where she had to go out and get security. She says one bad thing about this current administration, all of a sudden she's getting death threats. Tell me again who's stoking the flame of political violence, because it ain't coming from us.
Well, for with the GOP, would they, would they move resources to make sure she doesn't get out of, to make sure she can't run again because she's a quote unquote traitor? Absolutely. However, and I've been getting this a lot for a couple of weeks now, or a few weeks now, it feels like they have bigger problems. And I've been getting a lot of major arcana of the government's open and shut and open and shut, and there are big revelations coming. There's some big bolt out of the blue. It feels like, would they? Yes, but it feels like the Republicans are going to have bigger problems. That's what I get.
I guess she better be careful she's not dumped out a window somewhere, because she was at that meeting January 5th at the Willard Hotel, before the insurrection. She's got dirt on people. She could become a major problem for these people that she's worked with. But if she's not careful, they'll take her out more than just vote her out.
She asked for a pardon, remember, Jenny?
Yeah, I mean, she's got truth that could burden people in the government. So if they tried to go after her in any way, she's got dirt on people.
Listen, I'm not worried about MTG, because she sure did line her own pockets with a ton of insider trading. And oh, by the way, she's eligible for a pension. So while she gets free healthcare and her pension, the rest of us get higher rates. And we don't have the advantage of stuff that's not known to the public to where we can benefit from insider trading. So I'm not shedding a damn tear. And there's a part of me that's kind of happy that the shoe's on the other foot now, because she spent years tormenting and harassing her own co-workers in the Capitol.
There's part of me that's very happy.
I'm very happy.
I'm not Mother Teresa, so, it's, mind you, this is the child who chased a shooting school victim down the street screaming and yelling at him. So she gets no sympathy for me for the rest of her life.
None.
This is a woman that needs tattooed on her abdomen Trump's whore.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
She spent her entire time in Congress being exactly that.
If any of us were to act at our workplace the way that she did in the halls of Congress, we would be fired on day one. And she did this for how many years? And now she says one bad thing and she's running for her life scared that she's getting death threats. The shoe's on the other foot. I don't feel bad at all.
She was beyond obnoxious.
And I don't, this whole pivoting, honey, that is not going to rehabilitate who you have been for the past almost decade. Because there's video evidence of you being in a complete a-hole to everybody around you.
And putting signs on AOC's door and everything else. It's like, come on.
Political violence. She had pictures of her holding up a gun to Pelosi's head or some crap like that on her social media. No. I hope you have to sleep with one eye open. I get that. Yes, they would find somebody that is loyal. First and foremost, loyal. That can be successful in that district. So yes, they would.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. There's your house, and then there is the energy behind it, the 8 of Wands, the 7 of Pentacles, the investment in finding somebody new leadership there with the King of Wands, Hangman, 2 of Pentacles. Yes, they would find somebody else. Well, speaking of finding somebody else and someone new for that position, I'll just come right out with it. Will Donald Trump get impeached for a third time? not removed. I understand it's a different thing.
I saw
Or
that Al
asking-
Green. I saw that Al Green is talking about bringing articles of impeachment before Christmas. He made a whole speech outside on a podium.
The Democrats just can't wait. They're like itching. And it was like,
Well, dude, you have a freaking laundry list longer than a CBS receipt of all the crimes he's committed, and it's only been 11 months.
yeah. Mind you, you can go and get him for the first 2-3 months he was in there. It's like,
He shouldn't even be in there considering what he did on January 6th.
uh-huh. And MAGA, red hats, tinfoil hats. How did you feel about the Al Qaeda guy having a little meeting with Donald Trump in there? Remember that?
Olympias.
Ooh.
Oh, did you guys see Eugene Vindman saying that they need to release the transcripts of him and MBS after Khashoggi was unalived?
Yep, their phone calls.
Mhm.
Those are probably in Trump's shitter down in Mar-a-Lago, classified documents.
Or in the freaking coffin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Bedminster. Full one please to the right.
Will
In
he
the
be
weeds.
a
So
third?
will he be impeached before the end of the year?
Oh, were we doing before the end of the year or just
I just said third time, but
third time?
Norman needs specifics sometimes.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Here's the thing. It's when Democrats have the power. But I get these other cards I'm getting in clarifying is basically it's not a matter of impeaching him over what he's already done. It's when more stuff comes out. That's when even the voters, when the voters see what was done, that's when things start shuffling around but you need Democrats in power. Then the emperor and people can try to, his flunkies can try to fight back, but no.
I've been seeing, it's been all over my FYP on TikTok, Autumn, of MAGAs literally torching their MAGA gear. He's a effing con man. He conned us. He's a liar. F you, rotten hell. Like, I'm just like, oh, you finally got it. You might want to check that tag on your hat before you burn it, though. It says made in China. You know, like they are pissed. They are livid pissed. And it's like, what do you think was going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
Show me where on his record this man has ever done anything honestly in his life.
Or for you at all.
We told you this would happen. Yeah.
I mean, Lord, have all the mercies, like Johnny would say.
He still thinks he has power, even though he's nervous. The strength of what's coming out about the children and everything, he's just trying to move away from that. But his power is being sedated, so to speak, tempered. But he thinks he can run his mouth and still succeed. Look at me, I'm the celebrity, I'm the one, I'm the president, I can do what I want. He's so delusional, he thinks he still has power, and I think he thinks he has power over little Moses Mike. For some reason, he keeps him very close by. Would they try to impeach him again? When there's a change in the Republicans in the House. We have to wait.
To Jenny and Autumn's point, yesterday, I think it was, Twitter accidentally revealed the country of origins for all those Trump accounts. Israel, Russia, Nigeria, Bangladesh, nowhere in the United States.
Indonesia,
like millions of followers, and come to find out Make America Great ain't even here in America.
They're all bots.
By bots. So MAGA was losing their effing minds about that yesterday. I get that there's growing support for the opportunity, especially because of his health. So growing joy, opportunity. It's growing. So I would say even within the Republicans and everybody voting to out the Epstein files should be a clear sign that you don't have the support of the Senate or the House at this point. You know,
Nor does he have the support of 76% of America.
No, I'm telling you, I would be surprised if he won the election. If he even, we know he didn't win, but if he even had 20% of the vote, I am willing to put my head on the chopping block. There's no way a president has ever gone that far up, won every single swing state to be negative 40 something, 50 something on every poll.
Thank you, Gigi. I get justice in the 3 of Wands, which means possibly not, because there's a 2 of Swords too in the warning position, which means you could have some people defect. So, mind you, all of the Democrats were on board with releasing or not voting for the shutdown and all that stuff. So they have shown that they can be grouped in solidarity. But there's something here to where I'm trying to thank you, Julie. I'm trying to I got this, and I'm thinking that there's a possibility that all of this is irrelevant. Because that's what popped in my head. The death card doesn't mean death usually, but when I pulled it, that's what popped in my head, and I'm like, I'm not saying that out loud, but I said it out loud now. I'm not saying that out loud because I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen because that's not what's in the Wheel of Fortune. But
Johnny, how many times have I said that SOB is going to drop dead before he ever faces justice? How many times have I told you that?
Because that's just what it feels like right now, and I'm like, I'm not going to say that because I don't think that's what's going to happen. But I just want you to know what I pulled. So sure.
The universe could do us a solid, and Jesus could come and take him right now, and that would be the best Christmas present ever. Like,
and if you just took him,
just leave his red tie and his diapers on the lawn of the White House. We'll know he got raptured up.
His girdle.
His girdle.
Red tie and his girdle. And his lifts.
an orange puddle with clothes in it.
It all smells like poop. It all smells like poop because everybody says he stinks.
Yeah.
He's so concerned about, his image and everything. Does he realize how down in the polls he is, that his legacy is just going to be crap?
Well, I have a question on that actually. Because I'm not a big poll person because, they say 58% of Americans, blah, 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 and nobody ever asks me. So it's not as accurate as all that, but there's a little asterisk at the bottom and they say they polled 15 people and 80% of these people said this. It's just the way they word it is what bothers me when they say 58% of Americans. Meanwhile, they only ask 15 people. But I can believe that his poll numbers or his approval numbers are in the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
What I want to know, though, is what is the main driving force behind it? Because there is a list, I'm sure, but what is the biggest thing? Because us out here do not approve of him because we already know what kind of piece of crap he was a long time ago. But the farmers, and this and the that and the this and the that, what is the main driving force behind it?
Pulling his poll numbers down? Is it because he's a pedophile? Is it because of his immigration thing with ICE? Is it because he's meeting with MBS and Putin but didn't go to the G20?
Is it because he's taking the economy?
Taking the economy and inflation is through the roof and job numbers are down.
No. He's doing to job numbers what he did to COVID. Hide the numbers, they'll never know it's real.
I mean,
like that.
Unemployment went through the
like an idiot. Like I can't go outside and see that there's a bunch of people that are unemployed.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, unemployment went through the roof with COVID, right? But he had an excuse, like we were in lockdown. Okay, whatever. Unemployment went through the roof. He has no excuse now.
Zero.
Nothing.
What I don't understand, Jenny, is the farmers. He did this shit to you the first time, and you turned around and said, "Sounds like a great idea. Let me sign on."
Let me sign up again.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense, please, because I don't get it.
I'm telling you, I learned on the first date whether I want to go out with somebody again. These guys are gluttons for punishment.
When he stood, because mind you, I knew nothing about Donald Trump because to me he was a TV character. But when I heard, let me see your birth certificate, that's all I needed to hear for the rest of my life. When you wanted to see the only black candidate's birth certificate, I'm good.
Yeah.
And take that Euro trash wife with you when you go.
Mhm.
What I get about that, it is the economy. It is, but the reason that he's losing MAGA support is because they feel like he lied to them. That putting him, if they voted for him again, they feel like he promised that the democratic, all the bad democratic stuff would be gone forever. It's just a bunch of lies. That only the bad people would be removed, and there would be a chicken in every pot. Kind of everything would be better. The economy would just go through the roof, and they are angry because they see that it was just all lies. And he doesn't care. They're hurting badly, and he doesn't care.
I think some of them are starting to feel that he doesn't care about me. Like, oh my God, he scored.
Let them feel the floor for a little bit. Let them feel the floor for a little bit. Because maybe next time it won't be so much you stupid, you libtards. When we all told you this is exactly what was going to happen. You cannot tell me a man that takes his own contractors to court so he doesn't have to pay them, gives two craps about you and your farm, or you and your business, or you and your healthcare, or you and anything. You are beneath him.
Maybe we should have made red hats and sold them and put Trump's horror on the front of them because that's what they need to be wearing at this point.
Remember when they were wearing gold diapers, Johnny?
And the maxi pads on their ears?
Oh,
And
God. Yeah. Jesus.
They're starting to question his actions, everything he moves forward, everything he said he'd do, and he's not addressing everything that he said he would. All his plans to help with the economy or whatever, it's all lie and subterfuge, and they're mulling it over and they're thinking about it, and they're like, you know what? Yeah, this guy's just a bully. He's out for himself. Right?
Surprise!
Cat found the bag, or the Cheeto in this case. I get the lilies, the tower, the mountain, the bouquet, and the snake. Government agencies that they depend on, gone. Your SNAP, your EBT, your healthcare, it's Obamacare, without realizing it's the Affordable Care Act. Gone.
Socialism.
Yeah, because they can't read. So they just sit there and believe everything Fox News and everybody else tells them. Department of Education, did you guys see the list that they just put out of everything they're not funding? Surprise, surprise, it's all careers that are mostly for women, So all the institutions that they relied upon, there's blockages, delays, obstacles. It's not available for you anymore. Subsidies for farmers, bye-bye. Tariffs, hello. Oh, and while I'm at it, here, Argentina, take 40 billion. So what he offered was a lie. So
Meanwhile, he's having his great Gatsby parties. Why wasn't I invited?
and What now? It's a $400 million ballroom. It was 200 million, then 250, then 300 and 350. Now it's 400. And meanwhile, these morons are over there still waiting on their Doge checks that ain't ever going to come. They're waiting on their stimulus checks. Stimulus checks, spoiler alert, come out when the economy is bad. Not because, you did such a good job today, Susie. We're going to send you a $2,000 check.
Meanwhile, he
Meanwhile,
sends all that
in
money to
1 year.
Argentina and has nothing for a stimulus check here.
Not
And
only
none
did
to
he
show for it.
destroy their industry, he gave money to the competitor
Hmm.
on top of it. So,
And had a meeting with 3 terrorists in 1 year.
yep.
And what I get the first card is the tower. It's a dumpster fire. So it's kind of everything. And I think, because what played in my head when I pulled the card is I was sitting in a restaurant a long time ago when I was in Pennsylvania. And I prejudged, I will say, because I walked in and it was all older white people, and they tend to be the Fox viewers,
Oh, God.
And most of them were in there because this was around, I forget what happened exactly, but it was in the news. And they were all talking about it, and they were all ashamed that Donald Trump, I think it was Jan 6, because they were all ashamed about what was portrayed, and this is what America looked like, and so forth and so forth. That's not what they went to war for. It's not what they fought for. It's not what the parents fought for. Da, 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 da. They were doing that whole thing. And what happens usually in these conversations is it's a pile-on. This person's upset about their farm. This person's upset about their health care. That person's upset about their this. And then they just start dumping it all in. And you get this, the dumpster fire. So it's literally everything. And then on top of that, there's the little kid thing. And then there is you saying that, and mind you, Jeffrey Epstein in these emails talking to Vladimir Putin, talking about how you know about the girls, you're a horrible person, that this, that, and the other. Like,
How to
it's all-
manipulate Trump. And can we please, if I may, everybody's talking about these Epstein files. And I'm not here to demean or take away from the horrible experiences that those girls went through. But can we please discuss the big elephant in the room, that is, it's not real, and how Epstein worked for the Mossad and God knows who else as a spy? Nobody's talking about that at all. Not the news. Everybody's focusing
With
on
Russia?
the sex and the scandal. Nobody is looking at Mossad. Why? I can't.
And you're warning the page of wands, the messages that he's putting forward now, they feel like it's a lie. Because you told me grocery prices have gone down, and yet when I swipe my card, it went up. And so one of these has to be true and the other one has to be a lie. Am I going to believe my eyes and my bank account that went down by $136 and I got 2 bags of groceries? Or am I going to believe you that everything that just went down?
Or wait till you get your next pay stub starting next year and you saw that your premiums went up. So you just essentially got a pay cut because now you're paying more.
And what's even worse is with the dumpster fire and the 8 of Swords, you feel as though you cannot get out of it. Because he didn't win, so I can't really say because you voted for him, but I am going to say because you voted for him. Because you voted for him 4 times, more than likely, because remember, he wasn't the candidate the first time against Obama. You voted for him all of these times. And now that it finally hurts you in a position you can't recover from, now he's a bad guy. He was never one of you. And if he came into your house and he was not Donald Trump, that behavior that he exhibits, you would not allow in your house. You just wouldn't do it. If he was not who he was, you would not put up with that from anybody else in your family. And more so to the point, if you walked up to Mar-a-Lago and knocked on the door, he would not let you in because you are not like him.
You couldn't step foot in that property, Johnny. You think some person from rural Kentucky on their little mobile thing because they're too obese to walk is ever going to step foot in Mar-a-Lago, they wouldn't make it down the damn driveway before they were turned away.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
know?
Raven in the chat wrote, Becca smashed that Cheeto and Duck La Orange world is collapsing. Ever since you smashed that Cheeto.
But I did, you guys, I found my Moses Mike voodoo doll. You guys want to see it? Tell me that doesn't look like him.
Put some little glasses on him.
Oh my gosh, it does. Does he have a little does that doll come with a little app to track his use of adult websites?
I need to find a black Sharpie and put glasses on him. I don't have
With
one.
the side eye that won't go away on top of that.
Make him some
Oh,
little
that
wire
was
frames.
Moses Mike. He looks like a freaking elf on the shelf. So I have a voodoo doll now. Just let me know when you need me to stab it.
Well, speaking of Moses Mike, this question is not about him, but it's named after him. There is a thing called Operation Creep, CREEP, Operation Creep. I read from Newsweek, a U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement auditor was among the 16 men arrested in a Minnesota trafficking investigation that targeted individuals attempting to solicit minors for sex. An ICE agent.
Mm-hmm.
Bloomington Police Chief Booker Hodge said that at a news conference on Tuesday that the 3-day Operation Creep began on November the 5th and focused on identifying people who seek to purchase sex from a 17-year-old girl. When he was arrested, he said, "I'm ICE, boys." That was supposed to stop them from arresting him because he said, "I'm ICE."
Tase
Well,
his
you
ass
know-
and zip tie him.
that Stephen Miller got up and said you can do whatever the hell you want.
Well, that police officer, well, no, excuse me, back that up. That police chief said that when we arrested him, he said, "I'm ICE, boys." And I told him, well, unfortunately, you're still getting locked up. And
Good.
so,
There was a drunk ICE guy that pulled that down in Texas too when they arrested him with his 2 kids in the car for DUI.
now mind you,
Couldn't
this
walk a
man,
street.
according to this story, is also recently married. Now, his name has not been released or none of that because this question's not really about him. But what I want to know, though, is with ICE being put together with duct tape the way it is, where they just took any and everybody out of jail and off the street so that you can go be a thug with a badge, will we see more of these kinds of stories of ICE agents getting caught up in this and that and other things, since these are just random people? These are not vetted professionals.
Some of them
Yes.
got pardons.
Yes.
I don't know that I need cards for that. Yes, they will continue to be absolutely awful.
You know what else I saw, Johnny, that's making the rounds? And I'm just waiting to verify if it's true or not. That some of these ICE agents are IDF. So I'd be curious to see if that is verified too.
Springtime for Trump and the GOP. Yes, the fish rot. The fish is already rotted from the head. It isn't even rotting or will rot. It has rotted, and they absolutely expect to. I have a get out of jail free card to do whatever I want. And it's not only that they're ICE, but that they're white.
I'm ICE, boys. You can't arrest me.
They're white. Yeah.
Just set you in the sun, let you melt for a little bit. Yeah, the testing stuff coming out right and left. We're gonna see a steady return to this conversation because they try to block what they do in private, in secret or whatever, but there's major exposure coming forward of all different kinds of things they do. They're like Trump, they betray, and they're pedophiles.
I prefer my ice crushed too.
This is all going to fall on a woman's shoulders. That's the executive or the boss.
Kristi Noem.
Woman, anchor, bear. The woman, that's the boss. She's the one that's being persistent and adamant about this whole thing. So it's going to fall on her.
The dog killer.
Yeah.
So I get the Magician in the Page of Wands. Yes, it will be. There's going to be more like operations and things of that nature, because I get the Three of Pentacles and the Three of Cups. So you're going to have more of this type of thing, specifically with little collaborations of people getting caught up in things. And so, yes, you will see a lot more of that, because with the Ace of Swords is clarity. There's going to be a lot more that's revealed. And so we shall see more of this type of thing.
And a lot of these people have previous criminal records. They're just taking anybody that signs up, literally.
Well, speaking of criminals, Kristi Noem, will she be indicted for anything post-Trump administration with her $220 million that was funneled into a consulting firm that she has ties to? And mind you, her very, very expensive travel budget and this, that, and the other. Will she be indicted for anything?
Didn't she also get 2 planes? Not one, but 2?
Yeah, 2.
But it's the same person who lost her purse with $30,000 sitting in it or something crazy like that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one.
At the Cracker Barrel or wherever it was.
I forgot about that one.
She's constantly playing dress up
Yeah.
for jobs she doesn't have.
Yeah.
Does putting her ads on TV.
Which I'm sure we're paying for her clothing allowance too.
And her Mar-a-Lago face, too. Don't forget that.
Her little boyfriend, what's his name, that beats up women.
Will she be indicted for?
He got Mar-a-Lago face.
I'm not getting any justice cards. I'm getting the Three of Swords in the center for things, let's just say things perchance are not on the up and up. And it's right next to the Hierophant, so the government, the institutions. So she ends up on the defensive, but, if we have not only got to vote Democrats in, but we have got to give Democrats supermajorities. Yeah, I know it's not even possible in the Senate, but dear great Gussie, someone please tell me I'm wrong. Please. That we have so long to wait.
I get when there is a change. When there's a change, yes. And it's mostly around financial.
That's what I get too. It's financial
cover up. Murky ass waters. So if you think the 220 million that's the tip of the iceberg, I would suggest. But I get when there's a change. When there's a change.
Our world's going to fall apart. Victory on having court issues in the future. All her little secrets are going to come out. Investigations into the money she used, like American money, like taxpayer money that she used. And I also get a steady flow of Russian money from Putin in Russia. She's probably been hiding some offshore. She's got major problems coming. And her lifestyle will reflect that. She's hoarding money.
So when you guys see her bow tie hasn't been kept up to date, you'll know.
Um, no time soon, but I did say after his administration, which if he, another one bites the dust soon, then that's post his administration. It'll be somebody else's, but not with Pam Bondi there. But I do get there has to be a change first, and then it's something that is done. This is more so than just financial. This is give and take. So this is her giving money or taking money, the swapping thereof. And so it's something like that. But with the Page of Swords, it's more like a no. So it's like no time soon because it's a delay. It's a lot of things have to happen first, but it's promising because at least it's still in the reading. I don't have the Justice card, which means I don't think she's going to jail or anything like that. But we'll see what happens, regime changes and whatnot. Okay. I'm trying to do this question without being judgmental.
Nah, just be it's not like we like any of these people.
Well, this is me. I have always, it seems, an axe to grind when it comes to religion, and so that's why I'm trying not to be that person in particular instance. But the Catholic League's Bill Donahue came out and joined Megyn Kelly in the stupid line and said, Jeffrey Epstein wasn't a pedophile. He was a homosexual. Because when a male has sex with a male, that's not pedophilia, it's homosexuality. True. When a man has sex with a boy, that is not homosexuality, that is pedophilia. Now, what he was doing is he was talking about what they have going on in the Catholic Church. And he was saying, akin to Epstein, because Epstein did not have sex with children. He had sex with preteens, which they are technically, puberty means that they're adults.
No, they're not.
Didn't the Romans do that too? The Romans back in the day?
I'm like, what did...
Let's just be perfectly clear. If you are not allowed to drive a car, you are not allowed
between adult and non-adult.
Yeah, you cannot consent if you're not even allowed to drive a car.
Oh, but see, their argument is, well, 100 years ago they used to marry 12-year-olds, so it's totally.
Yes, 100 years ago people died at 15. Okay, so
if you can't get an abortion without parental consent, you cannot have sex without parental consent.
Jenny, why are you bringing abortion into this? They don't care about abortion. They want
because if they're saying they can have sex at 15, then all right, give them rights to an abortion too.
Rights to everything else.
They want to rape little girls, and it becomes somebody else's problem.
And have it be exposed.
And let the taxpayers deal with it.
So my question on this is, does this now affect the Catholic Church population to where people are going to start to lose their faith? Because where this came from, because this came on my YouTube feed, there's been all these stories about church attendance over the past 10 years going way, 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 way down. And the pandemic did not help because that gave people more of an excuse to not go. And so people are outraged at his comments, but some people can separate person from faith, and then some people cannot. So my question is, will it go down? Because you cannot say that the Catholic Church doesn't have a pedophilia problem.
This Pope is helping. But their believers are aging out. That's a big part of this. The largest number of believers are they're older. and I'm not saying everybody who's Catholic is older, but yeah. Matter of fact, I don't know if you can hear it, but if you can hear any music going on behind me, that's my elderly parents watching Mass on Sunday, because they can't actually go out. So they're watching Mass right now. So, elderly people won't even necessarily go to a church because they can't.
But what I get, is how they use church for strength in their communication, and it's coming from the oligarchs. That's their plan, to use dogma and these religious leaders of all types, and people are starting to move away from them because they're left out in the cold. They can't earn a minimum wage. They can't protect their children. They can't. It's all of it. So people are waking up to how they're utilizing religion to take our rights away, is what I'm getting. It's more than just sex with underage people.
Yeah. And I keep picking up, there's going to come a breaking point where they are going to have to move more toward equality and holding people accountable. They're going to have to let women become priests. They're going to have to.
They also, when people's pocketbooks are hurting because they're spending more on food and stuff, they don't have money to tithe to the churches.
Right.
And let's not all forget about that social experiment from that girl on TikTok asking for baby formula. She wasn't asking for money. She wasn't asking for a handout. She was asking for baby formula for a starving baby. And out of 30, only 3 said yes.
I heard, I don't know if this is true, but I heard that, did she also call a few mosques or something, and every one of them said yes?
Yes.
She called one mosque, one black church, and the lady that answered was like, I'll get that right away. The guy was ready to just bolt out the door and go to the store. And then another one was a little old white guy. They call him the Appalachian Pawpaw. And just from that went viral on the media. That church, that little Appalachian Pawpaw church, has received over $90,000 in donations from people on social media that says, this is what a church is supposed to be doing.
Excellent.
And then there was this one guy, a preacher, that got up before his whole congregation. She is a witch, and the God says we don't take care of witches and we kill those demons, like talking about her and her baby. Yeah, I was like, wow. And everybody in the congregation
trying to make her out as a fraud just because she was trying a social experiment.
No, he wasn't trying to make her out as a fraud. He was literally demonizing her, calling her a whore in every name in the book for daring to get pregnant and not having food for a baby. So I get that the message is what that man said is going to spread far and wide. It's going to reach areas where you didn't think you'd be able to reach, but is it going to affect the church? Yeah, a lot, because that message is widespread. So
I get yes and no. Yes, because the message, as Becca said, goes everywhere. But there are some who what they get out of it is greater than he is, and so they'll be just fine. Last question. Never mind. Last question. I'm going to do what I want to do because this is Terrell's Apprentice in this week. This is the child name. Chi Ose. That's how you say it. Chi Ose. He is running to unseat Hakeem Jeffries. He has filed the paperwork that he is supposed to file. However, the DSA, the Democratic Socialist of America, has said no on endorsing him. What chance does he have, if any, at unseating the most powerful Democrat in Congress?
But they also didn't endorse Mamdani. I can never say his name right. It's going to take me about 2 years to get his name straight in my head. Mamdani.
Donald Trump likes him, so now he's in a different kind of crossfire.
They have fascinating astrology. Mamdani and Trump. It's hysterical.
Yeah, the right wingers are afraid we're going to have Sharia law here.
Did you guys see all those 80-something Democrats that voted with Republicans to condemn socialism? Y'all see that? Yeah, we do, Cindy. Socialism for the rich.
It's weird. I keep getting. He's not here. He's just not in the cards. I get all kinds of stuff happening in the House. Democrats gaining a lot of power. The King of Cups, that's Hakeem Jeffries, and this guy, if he's here at all, he's a page. It's compared to the king. There's not much here.
Yeah, and there's a woman coming in too against that King of Cups that may kind of shift things. I don't think he gets it because I think there may be some other people running against him too.
I get there's a man that's on the receiving end of a lot of criticism about business, donors, a lot of criticism, and a lot of anger. But there's a man on the receiving end of that. So anger, criticism, abuse, a lot of it, and then this man. What this is on the receiving end. So, and this is business and trade, consulting, that sort of thing. So it could go either way. I mean, I don't know who this man is, but he seems to be close to business. So,
I don't think he gets in, nor the pity, because many reasons. But I don't think he, mind you, we need a change because when Rome burned, Jeffries went on a book tour. So fuck that guy forever. Okay, thank you. But this guy, Chi, and his solace is the star, and then he has the Six of Swords. I don't think this in particular position is going to be for him in unseating Jeffries. However, it does raise his public profile. And it's not just because he's running, it's because they're starting to attack, or they're going to, because there is the Five of Wands, and there's a whole lot of money behind the opposition, and he has basically none. I think he's a city councilman or something like that, but he doesn't have a bunch of the big time pillar support like the DNC type of stuff. But with the Knight of Swords, he can take advantage of the chaos or take advantage of the windstorm and just ride with the sail. And so with that attacks and all that stuff coming, he can use that to his advantage to raise his platform. So the 3 of Wands and the 4 of Wands, there's still a blessing coming. It's just not office. But it is going to be great for his station. So whatever it is that he has to say, it'll raise his public profile and he can join the other people who are deemed socialist. But as far as him getting in, no, there's way too much against him, which, like I said, he can use to his benefit.
And they're all, the Democratic Party just does not want to be disrupted at all.
Yeah.
No.
They're resistant.
Don't you dare rock the boat. Don't you dare ask for something nice. Don't you dare ask for fucking handouts. Be happy with what we give you, which is crumbs, and shut up and go sit in the corner. So they're coalescing, and they're putting it as socialism. We don't want socialism. We don't want an authoritarian government. We want democratic socialism, meaning you regulate the crap out of it. So we're not getting raked over the coals every time we have to go to the doctor, or get raked over the coals by our utilities, which go up every year for no reason. You know, so
we only have one company giving you utilities.
Yeah, exactly.
Johnny, in honor of Thanksgiving this week, can we do a funny question? See how Trump's Thanksgiving's going to go? Because his last 2 weeks have been crap. Is he going to choke on a turkey leg?
I was just going to say that. I hope he chokes on a turkey leg.
How is Trump's Thanksgiving going to go? Is the stuffing going to be a little too dry, or is he having Burger King for Thanksgiving?
Stab it more, Johnny. Stab it more.
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, I laugh every time they talk about whatever he's traveling on Air Force One. All he offers is either KFC or Burger King, and RFK Jr. is like getting ill from the bad food. And I'm like, dude, you swam in a creek with poop in it. Come on.
He's using the little staircase now too, Jenny.
Yeah. How's his Thanksgiving? Will Melania be there? Is he having it all by his little self? Nope.
I'm getting he won't even be able to be in public for that long. He is compromised health-wise, mentally, you name it. And they're keeping a lot of things secret about what's really going on with him. Yeah, there are a lot of people covering up for him because he's not all there. It's like I'm getting, how's his Thanksgiving going to be? 3 hours? 4? There's not.
He'll be sleeping like this.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting.
Melting off.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, Melania's spending it with her mother. She's not even with them. You know, if I lay out cards to see when somebody's passing or whatever, I have a collection of certain cards I like to be grouped together. This is one. This completion, going to a higher plane, crossing over. Something's going on in secret with him over Thanksgiving. The kids are having a problem. Melania's at her mother's. She's not even there. I don't know, but you know. That's lying on a coffin, right?
I get the ship, the coffin, clover, ring, snake, transitioning to death. I would only wish, but no. That means that there's no travel.
No travel.
Whatever he's doing, he's going to take that opportunity to try to make deals, but those deals are So make of that what you will. Oh, they're saying Melania's mom is dead. So who knows?
Well,
Maybe
well, she may be visiting her at the cemetery. She's not with
I
Trump.
think her father's
Still
still
better
alive.
company.
Gonna
father's
lay
still
some
alive.
flowers. I thought it was her dad that passed, but I could be wrong.
Well, it doesn't really matter.
Oh well.
You can spend time with whoever you want to, no matter where they are. The moon card, terrible. Very terrible. The Five of Swords, very terrible. There's a change in the winds. That's what it is. And
There's a change in the winds.
There's a
Check
change
your
in the-
obituaries
to be
daily.
executed, that's what that means.
Daily check the obituaries from now till Christmas.
That was a joke, Secret Service. He will not have the best of times because he doesn't know how to work out the details of the day. I think what's going on up here is not in complete connection with the rest of what's going on, and so it won't be very good. The Five of Swords is a card of defeat and dishonor. Perhaps he eats something and he doesn't like it, and so he throws a fit, and then he passes out in a drunken rage, and then falls asleep, and then next thing you know, it's Friday.
I just shuffled, and that's back on the bottom again. I'm
We're
done.
leaving that alone. So, Feliz Navidad. So, thank you, Autumn, for joining us. Thank you, all of
Thank
you,
you
for
for
joining
having me.
us. We will be on Jen's channel next week. Remember, do not go to sleep with politics in your system. Go do this. Still smells like cupcakes, by the way.
Does it really?
Yes, it does.
It-
Go and watch something funny. Go watch something fun. Go eat something funny. Go eat something fun. Where
Need a break from family? Lori and I are live on The Way of Positive Change at 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central on Thanksgiving Day.
There you go.
And
And
on
do you
thanks-
take a favor? Enough of that. I'm healing, blah, blah. F that shit. Be toxic. Curse him, curse the village, curse the whole administration, curse the guy down the street, write their name, stick it in your shoe, stomp it, burn it, piss on it, do what you got to do. Will it work? I don't know, but it'll make you feel better. So
Get a Cheeto and smash it.
It's
get
all
a
about
Cheeto
healing.
and scratch it, you know?
It's
you
all
have
about
enough
healing.
Keep that up too. You know? Stay toxic, my friends.
It's all about healing.
I was gonna remind people that I'll be on at noon as regularly on Thanksgiving Day, but oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to up my game. You guys have got voodoo dolls and Care Bears and Cheetos and
Stick to the
Man.
cat. This is a bad road to go down, I think.
But it does
I
feel
thought
good once you get
I
all your
thought I
anger
had
out.
problems.
It feels good.
whew.
So we'll see y'all next week. Bye bye. Take care of yourselves out there.